All right, we just want to record a brief video just to help those students who are struggling with the assignment that deals with valence electrons. This is what the worksheet looks like. So let's take a look at how we can use our periodic table to help complete this, this table. So first of all, we need to make careful note of the names of the species that we're dealing with. So in this case, we're dealing with an atom. And you need to remember that atoms are electrically neutral, which means that the number of protons and number of electrons is going to be equal. So using our periodic table, we can scan through the periodic table and we'll see that the symbol for neon is Ne. Again, using our periodic table, we'll see that the number of protons, which is the same thing as the atomic number for neon, is 10. And given what we just said, because it's an atom, the number of electrons and the number of protons will be the same. So this thing has neither gained nor lost electrons. So we can put a 0 in the number of electrons lost or gained column, and the charge is going to be 0 because all atoms are neutral. Let's take a look at the next one. In this case, we're dealing with an ion, lithium ion. And if we take a look on our periodic table, lithium falls in the first family on the periodic table. It's the second one down. And if we take a look at lithium in that cell, it tells us that the charge on the lithium ion is a 1 positive. Just inside the cell, right, that identifies lithium. If you take a look on the upper right-hand side of that cell, you should see the mass, the molar mass of lithium, 6.94, and just below it, it tells you the charge on the lithium ion. So again, to figure out the number of protons, we take a look at the atomic number of lithium, and that's 3. Now this charge is really important. It tells us that there's one extra positive charge compared to negative charges. So our number of protons are positive, our electrons are negative. So if I have one more positive charge in lithium than I do negative charges, and I have 3 positive charges, that must mean I have 2 negative charges. And that would mean that the lithium ion has lost 1 electron, and therefore the net charge is going to be 1 positive. It's got 1 more positive than it does negative. Let's take a look at the next one down. The next one down, we've got, again, a positive ion. And this time, we're told that the species has got 47 protons. And if I take a look at my periodic table, 47, atomic number 47, corresponds to silver. Because it's an ion and it has a 1 positive charge, I'm going to write a little 1 positive above it. Okay, so it's the silver ion, 1 positive charge. Now again, that's going to tell us something about the number of electrons as well. We know the number of protons. I'm just going to rewrite that charge up here properly. We know the number of protons is 47. I have 1 more proton than I do electrons. That's why I have a 1 positive charge. So the number that should go here should be 46, which tells me that this species, the silver ion, has lost 1 electron. Just like the one above it, just like lithium. So whenever atoms lose electrons, they're going to become positive. Now, when it comes to naming this, I wouldn't call it just silver. I would have to call it the silver ion, because it's not the silver atom, it's the silver ion. Now, the ones that have negative charges, we have to think about them a little bit differently. If I take a look at the next one down, I see that I've got a species that has a net charge of -2. So right away, I know it's an ion. If it's got a charge, it's got to be an ion. But here's where it becomes a little bit more challenging. When I take a look at the number of electrons, it's got 18 electrons, but it's got a 2 negative charge, which means it's got 2 more electrons than it does protons. So if it has 18 electrons, it must only have 16 protons, and that would mean that it's gained 2 2 electrons. It's got 2 extra electrons. It should only have the same number. If it's an atom, it should only have the same number of electrons as it does protons, but in this case it has 2 more, which makes it a 2 negative charge. So it has gained 2 extra electrons. Now that I have my atomic number, 16, I can look up and see what that element is. And that element turns out to be sulfur, but it's got a 2 negative charge, so I'm going to write the charge above it. And when it comes time to naming negatively charged ions, I have to change the ending. So it's not going to be the sulfur ion, it's going to be the sulfide. I have to change the ending to an IDE ending. I didn't do that with the positively charged ions. Now hopefully that gives you a little bit of a push in the right direction as to how you need to think your way through completing this table. If chemistry has been a while back in your academic experience, you might need to take a little bit more time working through this. All right, but hopefully that gives you a start, a push in the right direction. And I have included I've posted the answers, so you should be able to take a look and see that you're completing the table properly.